back to my channel. Um, I'm gonna talk about something that's very dear to my heart, and I feel like that has helped me really find myself as a person and just in general. I guess I've been going through this self love adult transition journey lately where I've really been growing out of my teenager self into my adult self. Um, and it's been difficult to navigate because a lot of the time I still really have these feelings about, um, opening up and just I still want to do a lot of things that my teenage self would do. But as an adult, I am kind of maturing and realizing that some of those things are not okay. But as well as that, too, I've been discovering myself like as a person and just who I am. And I think something that's really hard for me is like navigating this between like friendships and relationships and family. It's hard to kind of figure out what you want and hope that these people will grow with you because maybe they're not at your maturity level yet. But it's something that you have to be patient with others if you really care about them, and hopefully they're patient with you. And this is just something that's been on my mind a lot. I have done a lot of, I'm not going to tell you guys my whole life, but I've done a lot of grown up things since I graduated high school. So it's been different, and it's been a progression in myself that I'm very proud of because I know for me, when I have a goal, I want to achieve that goal. I will do it until I'm there. If I really, really want it, schooling, job, whatever, I won't stop till I get it because I have set that standard for myself that's what I want. And that's in any case. And I think that's something that's important. And I hate like those TikTok videos where they're like how to set standards and how to like get what you want out of your life and how to be motivated. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, sorry. I'm just like they're not telling you how to do it. And it just like aggravates me because I'm watching these videos and I'm like, "Oh yeah, like how do you do it, girl? Tell me." And then they'll be like, "Find yourself." And they're not telling you how to find yourself. And I'm like, "So, you're giving me advice, but you're not telling me how to get to that step. You're not telling me the steps I need. So, I'm going to tell you the steps you need." um a lot of the time I feel like everything's a learning experience. That's all how I've always felt. Like you kind of don't know yourself and you don't know like your limits and things until you've experienced things that have like affected you, and then you're like, "Oh, I like that," or "Oh, I don't like that." And then from there you can be like, "Oh, this is a boundary that I need to set," or "This is something that I don't like." Or again, like if you have like a passion or a goal, then you're like, "Oh, like this is like, oh, I really want to be this. Oh, okay, this small hobby or me reading every day about this is getting me to that goal. I need to keep going and going and going and going." It could be the smallest thing, but it's still getting you to where you want to be. It's still you trying to figure out yourself. And again, a lot of the time, like these TikTokers or these influencers, whatever, these people, like I'm very obviously not famous, but like the thing is with me is like I might not be famous, but I feel like the one day I do become famous or an influencer or something is like I'm I'm not gonna bullshit anything, because people have feelings, people have emotions. I'm so tired of everybody being like, "Oh, be mean and be selfish and this is this." Like, there's a difference between being mean and having standards, and like I hate the people that are like you can have standards and be mean. This and like nobody wants to be mean in life. And yes, like there are those people that are like, well, you have to be mean because society and this and this. You do not have to be mean. If you are not a mean spirited person, there are mean spirited people out there, and that's fine, whatever. Everybody's different. You don't have to be mean spirited because somebody's telling you to be mean spirited. There are people that will like you for you just being yourself, and that is something that I have been learning about because I kind of am a little bit in between. I wouldn't say I'm mean, I would say I'm assertive. Like I said, I want what I want, and I can come off a little bit mean, and it's been a little bit of a challenge for me to discover how to balance between that. But in the end, yes, I can come off as intimidating and hard and just like outspoken. But I'm a real sweetheart. I'm a real empathetic person. And I care. I do. I care. And my goal for my YouTube channel is just to post like things that like, I like, talks, video games, vlogs, whatever. But my goal here is to also make people feel good about themselves because nobody wants to feel bad about themselves throughout their whole life. And I can get that therapy is hard and other things like that. And sometimes people just, need someone that isn't a professional or a friend or someone to say that they're here and you're okay and you're loved no matter how you act, even if you're a good person, a bad person, whatever, you're loved. I mean, if you're making dumbass decisions, like I don't know about that one, but like personality wise, like if somebody's telling you like you're too much to handle or you feel like this and this, you're not. You never are. And it's difficult when you hear those words, especially from people you love and people you care about, or you just start to notice like different things. It's hard. It's difficult because you care about these people. And again, everyone cares. Even if they say they don't care, somewhere in there, maybe a 5%, a 1%, they care. It might not be the care that you're looking for. It might not be the care that you want, but they do care, and you do matter. And I really just get so mad and just so mind boggled with all these things that these people come up with on the internet where they're like, oh, you have to act this way and you have to do this and how to be pretty and how to do that. And it's just like, you don't need to do all that. I mean, like, some of those things, like, I'll admit, I have opened them myself and been like, oh, like, what's your opinion? Like, what is this amazing advice that you're advertising to me, right? And I'll admit, like, it's an interesting psychological way of thinking. But, I mean, again, everyone has their own experiences, and don't validate your... Hold on, let me rephrase. Everyone has their own experiences, and don't make your experience and make that decision based off somebody else's experiences or their opinion or whatever. So I think it's hard because you want the advice, but at the same time, you want to experience it yourself and do it yourself. And it's hard because you want to follow the advice, but at the same time, what if you don't align with that? What if you're like, oh, I don't really like that, but this person's telling me this is the best way for the best outcome, so I can do it right or whatever. And and I was like, yeah, like, it's really up to you in the end what you want to do. But don't lose yourself on the way by making yourself more, is it accommodating? More accommodating to other people's needs, or, trying to make the best of the situation. And it's just something that I've been thinking about a lot, that there's not a lot of people out there that hear that it's okay. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to be unique. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be avoidant. It's okay to, be dependent. It's okay to not be dependent. What is not okay is like in relationships, what is not okay is like leading, you know, people on and stuff like that because you don't know your own emotions and blah blah blah. What I mean by like it's okay to be yourself and stuff is that it's okay to know you are those things, you know, if they're bad things, you know, and you know you need to fix them and stuff like that. I hope that made sense. But you're never bad. And I just feel like there's a lot of things on the internet that are like, oh, like, this is how you change that, and this is how you do that. And like, sometimes it's really inspiring because you're like, yes, I recognize I have this issue. I recognize this. I want to fix it. I want to be better. But I don't want that for me or anyone to stem from a place of, oh, I want to fix that because of my partner or my friend or my family. You know, it's not for myself. It's for my friend, my family, my partner, whatever. And that's where it'll always like, you'll always never be happy with yourself. You'll always never feel like it's enough because of that reason, because you're just looking for other people's validation. And I don't even want to say validation. It's because you're looking to please others, I guess, or whatever the case may be. And the thing is like, if they're really your friends, if they really care about you and stuff, you know, you don't have to change. And like, what I mean by you don't have to change is like, if you're, you know, you're not cheating, you're not like doing anything obviously wrong, you're not hurting your partner, you know, if you're just, you know, like really into like My Little Pony or something and somebody's like, that's weird, you know, like you don't need to change that. There's somebody out there that'll care. Friends, family, relationships, whatever, you know. That was such a bad example. But you know what I mean? Like there'll be people out there that'll be like, oh, like I don't care, like that's cool actually, or something, you know. You don't have to change. But my thing is like, if you have hurt someone, like a partner or something like that, and you've acknowledged that you need to change and you want to work things out with them, then, you know, that's good. And that's good that you're actively changing. If you are actively changing, you're just saying that and you're like, oh yeah, I'll change, and then like you're not, then But I don't really think anybody deep down is a bad person or not enough or anything like that. I think everyone's enough. I think everyone is important, and we might not all know what everybody's going through. We can just be supportive and, you know, do the best we can. But at the same time, you don't want to lose yourself within those people, you know. I hear this analogy a lot where it's like, oh, putting people on the pedestal and putting yourself on the pedestal. And to some point, I kind of agree. But at another point, I don't agree. Because it's kind of something I've been like dealing with. And I agree that your mental health, your standards, your boundaries matter more than anything. But I don't want that to like affect your relationships, because I feel like some people, I know I have, take like those videos like that, it's like be high and be this, as shutting people out. And it's like, or, you know, cutting people off. And like, I get cutting people off, but like when it comes to that specific situation, I don't think that's what they're trying to say. I think they're trying to say just like, if there's something that your morals align to, that you should stick with it. And yes, you matter, and you should really always take care of yourself the most. But don't shut out the people you love, because they matter too, but don't make them the biggest priority. But it also doesn't mean don't care about them. And maybe like for me, I know, like I have a list of people that are like priorities to me, or people that I would be like, hey, like what's going on? Like, let's talk about it, you know? And if you feel you're being taken advantage of in that case, then you talk to them about it. And if they're going to be rude or something like that, then obviously you know this is not a good relationship for you. But if it's genuinely like good friends and, stuff, then I see no reason as to why you should be like, my boundaries and this and this. And it's like, again, yes, it's okay to have boundaries, but it's not okay to use that as an excuse to cut people off, not talk to them, because they might have triggered some little small thing and you're all like, my boundaries. And I don't like you anymore because this influencer told me not to talk to people like you, And I guess my thing is just sometimes you have to make your own perception. Sometimes you have to make your own beliefs and what is it that you want. And it's difficult. It really is. It's really difficult to differentiate between stuff like that and your own feelings. But I think as a human or a person in general, it's okay to have feelings. Everybody has feelings. No matter what the feelings are, it's their feelings, it's normal, it's okay, whether you care or you don't care or you do, you like whatever you're feeling, it's valid, and it might not be valid to others, people might not understand, but you understand, or what you're feeling in that moment, and only you're the one that can give yourself that reassurance and that validation and fix the problem with yourself. But my main goal here is to not be like every influencer or every podcast influencer, every like life influencer, lifestyle, and be like, oh, like hate them or cut them off or this is this. My thing is do what feels right for you. Do what feels right for you, but do it in the sense of making yourself happy. And I don't mean that in a way of like, I'm going to cut everybody off and stop talking to everybody. I'm going to stop doing the things I love because it'll make me happy and more mature. Like, no, like do it because it's the best thing for you. Even if that means you have to sit down for a while and like really think like, okay, like what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to talk about, Do I want to explore this before I make a decision? No, like really think about it before you jump into things, really adventure, really explore things, And it's interesting because it's everything's just really difficult. Relationships, work, growing up is just really a exploring game. It really is. It's an exploring game with yourself and with your career and your future, and you just kind of have to figure out what's best for you and what makes you happy and what you feel best aligns with you as a person. And I think that's the most important thing to focus on, not focusing on how can I be better for this person, or how can I be prettier, or how can I be this, or how can I be that. I think you need to focus more on how can I get my degree, or how can I open up my business, or how can I, be like the happiest version of myself so that the other people around me are happier, because that will bring more energy within yourself than trying to please other people. And it's difficult, and I get it. It's difficult to figure out what it is that you want to do with yourself, and because you want to make yourself happy, but you also want to keep certain things, and it's hard. It is. It's hard, but it's not impossible. And don't limit yourself because of the way you're feeling, especially if they're negative emotions. Don't limit yourself because of that. Do what you want, do what is best for you, whether that's something good, that's something bad. What I mean by something bad is not like cheating or arson or something like that. Don't do that, guys. I'm not condoning that. What I mean is like if you feel the need to like cut off a friend or something like that because they are making you feel bad and you just think, you know what, I think this is the best decision for me is to cut off this friend, then cut off the friend. That's what I mean. And it's just so hard. It is. And I am empathetic to that. I am. It's hard. Everything is hard. Everything is a decision. Everything is a choice. But these choices are only for you to make and only for you to decide how far you want to go and what you want. And maybe those choices won't always work out. Maybe you'll think you're making the right decision and maybe it won't work out, or maybe it will. You never know until you put your heart in it. And I think that's what a lot of people are like, don't put yourself into it. Don't put like this into it. But like, I think they're wrong. Put yourself into it. Put your heart into it. Because when you do that, you're putting yourself as a person and you're showing the world like, this is me. This is who I am, because everyone is different. And I just like, I don't like, if I want to reach the screen, just like everyone is different. You are special. There is no one everybody says this like all the time. There's no one else like that. But I mean that. Like if I could get into your head and like program that into your head, I would say there is no one out there like you whatsoever. There might be people that look like you. There might be people that have the same hobbies as you, but there will never, ever, ever be someone like you. And I feel like the choices you make, the decisions you make, whatever it is you do, you put your whole heart in that. You put your whole heart in that and you show these people like, this is who I am. This is what I do, and this is me. This is me. Show the world, show whoever, like, I am this person. I am this person, and here I am so that you can see me, because I am not like everybody else. And you're not. And, like, yes, in certain aspects, I believe that we are the same in the sense of, like, human nature and, like, animals and blah, 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 like, programming and blah, blah, blah. But we're different in the sense of we all look different. We all have different emotions. We all do different things. We like there's differences. Yes, biologically, we all have the same programming and shit. But I mean, we were given the gift of free thinking and hobbies and etc., So use those gifts to showcase like that's you, because you've been given the gift to differentiate yourself from these other animals. But I just think in any situation, like when influencers tell you like, oh, like be mean to them if they're being mean back to you, or like do this and do that, do what feels right, But what I think is important is that you put your whole heart in that. Like whatever that decision is or that feeling is, I think you should pick that based on how it will make you feel. And that's pretty much like all I have to say about that. I went like on a whole rant. Like that was from like a place in here, guys. But I just really wanted to say that, and because like the internet and like just I've been seeing so many of those videos lately, and I'm just like, shut up, leave me alone. But I just really think that everyone is great. Everyone is great, and you shouldn't listen to the negative. You should never listen to the negative. You should do what is best for you. And if that means, sorry if this sounds bad, if that means suffering a little bit, crying a little bit, for you to learn that lesson, like maybe this isn't good for me, then it's okay, you know? Everything is a learning experience. My thing is just that you need to make the decisions with your heart and not with like, oh, it's because like this and this and this and this. Like, no, it's because you need to learn, you know, or you're still trying to figure it out, or whatever the case may be, you know. Just, I guess my thing is a lot of people tell you not to lead with love, but I think you should always lead with love. And maybe some people will not reciprocate that back to you, but that doesn't mean you have to be cruel to them. You know? Kindness over cruelty, in my opinion. And maybe not everybody's like that, and that's okay. You know? I'm not really telling you to be kind. I'm not really telling you to be mean. I'm telling you to do what's ever in your heart. But I'm not telling you to like freaking do crimes and shit and anything else like that. I'm telling you to like do what's in your heart. And I'm validating that it's okay to do those things if you feel it's the right thing to do. You know, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Because like other people will tell you like, no, that's wrong to do that, or that's wrong to do this, or feel that way. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying do what feels best for you. That's it. And like no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody, this advice and all the shit they're telling you, like figure it out yourself, I guess. You can, of course, listen and take the advice and be like, oh, that's a good way of thinking about it, like blah, blah. But I would definitely recommend discovering things for yourself, because that's how you learn. That's how you learn and how you start to know yourself as a person, I think. That's pretty much it. I hope that was a good talk. I hope you guys were inspired by me. But I'm gonna go now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to post more, especially now because it's summer. But yeah, it was good checking in with y'all, and I hope I inspired you to live, laugh, love. All right, bye.